Welcome Capricorn, I'm back again with your monthly reading for March 2018. Dadhichi here from astrology.com.au. For those of you that are new, thanks for joining me. And take a look here straight away on the 2nd. We see the full moon taking place in this really important and most spiritual, or one of the most spiritual sectors in your horoscope. What does this area relate to? Being a full moon, we look at the full moon and the new moon as being the two most important punctuations of the space-time continuum on a month-by-month basis. The 9th house is not only to do with spirituality, but it has to do with thinking of a different order. And in a way, you're challenged this month because all of these planets here, Venus, Mercury, Neptune, Sun, are in the 3rd house of the superficial mind, while this planet is thinking of much higher things. So very, very busy intellectually, a lot of thinking. 3rd house here is a lot of travels. And here we see that that's happening with the moon in the 10th house of career around the 5th. Then it moves into this really lovely conjunction on the 6th and 7th with Jupiter, indicating some fortuitous meetings. And again here the communication and travel planets, they shift position, by the way, around the 7th. You noticed here Mercury and Venus shift into your 4th house of domestic activities. At the same time, after this fortuitous conjunction of Jupiter, the moon moves into the 12th house. Now these are sort of low-key houses, these are domestic houses, as opposed to this, you know, the western part of the zodiac, and this upper part have a lot to do with, you know, other people, your work, and how you're projecting yourself. Here under the earth, because this is the horizon, these planets are under the earth and predominantly on the eastern side of your horoscope this month. And so there's a more low-key period until the 9th. Bang, there's that conjunction with Mars in this 12th house. Now I just had a vibe, you've got to watch your left eye. Some of you that are having problems with your eyesight or with the optic nerve, it can be headaches. Also, believe it or not, I found this 12th house here, apart from having to do with your eyesight, has to do with your dental and also your feet, so the lower part of your feet. And Mars, being not altogether friendly to the sign of Capricorn, can present some problems there. And it will continue even into the Sun sign when it moves here a little bit later. But to start with, it's preceded by the moon into this rather somber combination with your ruling planet Saturn and the transformative Pluto here. Big things are going to happen between here and the 17th, and you'll see why in a moment. So you're starting to collect your energies, you're looking at changes in your life right now, changes in the way you present yourself. This is the financial area here as the moon moves through the 2nd house. But then it's going to trigger, as I said earlier, it's going to punctuate this 3rd house. And this is exactly where the new moon will take place after the idealistic combination with Neptune on the 17th of the month. And at exactly the same time, bingo, you see this new moon and Mars moving to your sun sign. Now that sort of energizes you, but unfortunately your ruling planet there is, it's sort of like having the brakes and the accelerator on at the same time. You know, one of those sort of periods of life where you know what you're going to do, you're ready to, you're rearing to go, but something's stopping you. And I think from what I can see here with this new moon in the 3rd house of communication and then moving to the 4th house, it's all about dealing with all of this domestic stuff. This 4th house is all your domestic situation and communication. And Venus is actually quite nice down here. It actually has a very powerful, what we call directional strength. It brings a lot of joy in the home. But at this time also, I want you to watch the significant transit of the Sun. That's now in the right angle to the Mars and Saturn here. So there's a bit of tension in the home life, I'd say, up until the 25th, 26th. It passes around that time. And then here, Mercury going into the stationary, then retrograde movement in this 4th house along with Venus and the Sun. So a real opportunity for you to review everything in your domestic sphere, your real estate portfolio, And in some systems of astrology, this has to do with educational pursuits as well. Vehicles and any other fixed assets are certainly under the microscope during this transit. And Mercury ruling your 6th house here has to do with the costs of your housing, your rental, renovations, educations, vehicles, transport, and all that sort of thing. So you can see that this is a very intense month, the latter part of the month having more to do with your domestic sphere and the way you communicate with that new moon in that area as well. On the last day of the month, we see the movement of moon back into your professional area, which brings your emotions and your thinking back into a work groove. Look forward to your company again next month. Please subscribe. Join me at astrology.com.au and you'll find out a lot more about yourself, about your partners, about what's coming. A lot of that's free, but you're more than welcome to consider some of the personalised services with myself or some of our many affiliates. Take care, and I hope to see you here again next month, Capricorn. Bye-bye.